Hi everyone, Sandy Grove, registered nurse here again with Health Tracks at Home. This is National Nutrition Month. So we are going to talk about for the next few weeks how important protein is in our diet as we get older. It has been found that people over the age of 50 need more protein. Yes, over the age of 50. So that probably includes everybody that's watching this video. As always, I get my information from reliable sources, but information changes from day to day, and if you have any questions, please contact your healthcare provider. So, nutrition tip of the day is, why is protein important? I think most of us have had basic anatomy and physiology and found out about the building blocks of our body, and that is what protein is. It provides calories or energy for the body. It's about 4 calories per each gram. And protein affects every single cell in our entire body like water does. So we need it. It's very important that we have it. Protein helps our body build and repair cells and body tissues. And it's important for many body processes, including giving us our vitamins and our minerals. Our body protein is needed to stay healthy and to work the way it should. More than 10,000 types are found in every living organ in your body. Your tissues, your muscles, your bones, your skin, your hair all has protein and needs it desperately. So protein is also a critical part of the process to fuel your energy and carry oxygen throughout your body in your blood. It also helps antibodies. This is a good one for us living in the COVID era, our pandemic time, that it helps make the antibodies that fight off infections and illnesses and helps keep our cells healthy and create new ones. So protein is obviously very important for us, and our protein needs definitely change as we get older. So our older adults need to eat more protein-rich foods, and we don't even realize this is going on, especially if we're losing weight, dealing with a chronic illness or acute illness, facing hospitalizations, according to the growing consensus among healthcare professionals as well as scientists. And just so you know, if you have any kind of a wound, you need protein and you need water for it to heal. It's very, very important. So I have spent my entire nursing life teaching people how to find new ways to incorporate protein into their body after surgery to increase their healing process, especially when they don't feel like eating. So during these stressful periods, aging bodies, that's us, process protein less efficiently. That's what's wrong. And we need more of it to maintain our muscle mass and bone health and other essential physiological functions. So even healthy seniors, those that are active, running around, doing all the things that they need to do, need more protein than when they were younger to help preserve their muscle mass. And this is agreed on by all the experts. Part of, as we know, as we get older, things start to slow down. Well, this is another area where our body does not assimilate the protein like it did when we were younger. And many people do not know that we actually need more protein as we get older. So reasons why we don't eat as much protein, that's part of it, is that we actually aren't taking in as much as we used to. And then our body, so you got a double whammy, our body is not utilizing it like it used to, so we need some more. Studies have shown that about a third of older adults don't get the adequate amount of protein that they need. And I'll give you the reasons. And I just realized I have been on a healthy diet, as you guys know, and we've been talking about fruits and vegetables. I've been trying to get those 5 to 6 a day, trying to make sure I have healthy fats, trying to balance my diet and keep it, healthy, etc. And I looked at my protein intake and it's like a third of what it should be. So the minute I started increasing my protein and eating healthy and lean proteins, my weight issue started to come down. I started losing weight. So my body was craving the protein and I needed to increase it a little bit, and it's helping me with my weight loss. So some of the things that keep people from eating enough protein are family meals change. We used to have our kids, we'd make these great big huge meals, and then they go off to college or they get married and they start having kids. And let's face it, when there's one of us or two of us, making a great big huge meal with a lot of protein is not on our high list of things to do, and we have a tendency to eat out more. Even during COVID, people have been getting things brought in or picking up food and bringing it in. So then we go into the whole nother area. Well, we'll talk later about good choices. We'll talk about that another week. Our appetites reduce as we get older. They don't really know why that is, possibly because we're a little bit more sedentary as we get older. That will decrease your appetite. But if you're a very active senior, hopefully your appetite has not decreased. But I have found that I am not hungry like I used to be. And that's just a process of aging. I guess the stomach cells slow down as well. Also, dental issues. As we get older, we can have problems chewing. We can have problems with our taste changing, and that keeps us from wanting to eat meat or beans or any of the protein sources. Swallowing problems can happen as we get older, and also limited financial resources. Protein is expensive, and we know that. So many people have been changing and eating more beans and legumes because they're less expensive than the lean proteins, and they give you higher quality grams of protein, which is nice. I've started incorporating at least one bean meal, if not more, during our week, and it's been really nice. So it's nice to get some protein that way. And then combined with a tendency to become more sedentary, like I said, this puts all of us at risk for deteriorating muscles. That's an awful thought. Compromised mobility, that means we're not walking as well. Slower recovery from bouts of illness, boy, we don't want to have that problem at all. And a loss of independence because our body's just not functioning like it should. So that's what we're going to deal with today. And to just acknowledge that we need more protein, look at your diet this week, see if you could increase it healthy ways, like non-fat Greek yogurt has 25 grams of protein, I think it is, in one serving. Cottage cheese is a good choice. Beans, legumes are a good choice. Nuts are a good choice in limited quantities, because it's good for you. Sprinkle it on things, etc. Besides seafood and all the meats out there, the lean meats. So switching to COVID update, this week I actually have some things to share. And probably while I am videotaping this, the governor is changing things because I kept waiting for him. And they said, I'll be in the next 2 days. So I'm sure we will hear after this video, when you listen to it, things will have changed. So at this point in time, we have given about 1 million doses in the state of California of our vaccines. And the state was hoping for increased amounts coming this next week, including the J&J vaccine. They don't know when that's exactly going to start being available for all. But they have also decided to take 40% of the vaccine and send it to those areas where has been a higher population of COVID cases. We have found that our Hispanic population has been hit really, really hard in the state of California. In fact, they said 46% of all deaths are Hispanic. And so that's quite high. And we want to make sure that they all get covered, and our workers, because we have so many farm workers in the state. Good news, San Diego County expects to move into the red tier in the next couple of weeks. Let's keep doing all the good stuff so that we can see that happen. And the state of California will be releasing, like I said, a new revised blueprint this week, including recommendations for opening the schools. They've already told us about that. So hopefully by April 1st, the schools will be back on board. That was voted on, I think, yesterday. And so we will be hearing how they're going to change our tier system, how we're going to have equity, and things will change on how they calculate probably. So more counties will be able to get into the red and then the orange tiers. So California positivity rate is down to 2%. That's amazing in a state that is this size. And San Diego County is at 4.2%, which is a miracle because a month ago we were like 4 times that. So facial coverings will not, out of Governor Newsom's mouth, will not be lifted in the state of California. And why? Because there are 5 or more variants in our state that are being studied at this time. For vaccine effectiveness, and we do not know yet if the vaccine is going to cover all these variants, so we want to be on the safe side. We don't have herd immunity yet. You've heard that many, many times, so that's another reason. And Governor Newsom recommends double facial coverings. We've been hearing this in the news, and that is because of the new variants. So part of it is that our cloth facial coverings are not adhering close enough to our face. So the surgical mask, this is the recommendation, not two cloth masks, a surgical mask covered by a cloth mask, which will hold down the sides. And the test is to breathe in and out, and you should feel warm air coming from the front and not out the sides. That's how you know you got a good seal. So if you're going to go into highly populated areas, they recommend those two masks. And make sure you test it to make sure that it's working correctly. If you have multiple layers in your cloth mask, it's a new cloth mask, they said that is probably okay. But again, do the breathing test. Is air coming out the sides? Is air coming out the top? If so, you're not protected. So that is the recommendation by the CDC and about our state at this point in time. So exercise tip of the day. We're going to talk about tiny habits. These are little things that we can do to improve our health. We don't have to do a great big huge thing to make things better. So we want to attach a new habit to an old routine. An example of that would be marching in place when you turn on your coffee in the morning. Another one would be engaging your stomach muscles when you bend over to brush your teeth twice a day. Those are times that you're automatically going to be doing something. And I recommend that you add an exercise to go with that to help you remind yourself to do these things. And there's many times during the day, when you're sitting in your chair, do leg lifts, to try and attach it with something you're already doing is a really good way to develop new habits. Exercise tip of the day. Memory preservation tip. I told you last week we're going to be doing 6 different mnemonics. The one that we're going to do this week, any musician in the world knows this one. It's a acrostic or a sentence. Make up a sentence in which the first letter of each word is part of or represents the initial of what you want to remember. The example is easier. The sentence, every good boy does fine, we learned when we were playing the piano, to memorize the lines of the treble clef representing E, G, B, D, and F. This is a really good way to remember things, is to put this type of acrostic to a piece of information you want to remember. So that's our memory tip of the day. Stress reliever of the day is easy. Go outside and breathe. Go outside and breathe at least twice a day. Enjoy the air, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just enjoy creation. It's one of the best stress relievers. You can just go out on your porch. It doesn't matter where you are, and you can do it at any point during the day. It's a very, very good stress reliever. Like I said a few weeks ago, we don't breathe enough. So I hope this encourages you to look at your protein intake, and we'll talk about it some more over the next week, how much you need, what is too much protein, and some myths about protein next week. As always, I get my information from reliable sources. If you have any questions, please contact your healthcare provider. Till next time, may God bless you. Keep social distancing, keep wearing those masks, and washing your hands. Stay safe, and God bless.